Hello, I am David W. Parker, and today you are watching Programming Today I Learned React series. This is episode 9, and we're going to be talking about React state within components. If you remember back a couple of episodes ago, we had, in all the previous episodes, we had stateless components. So they were just defined with arrow functions here, and they were given props, but there was no state changes within this component. It was basically just returning something based off of the prop that was given in. And very kind of simple. The most recent episode we talked about create React app, and that function, when it generated the application, it had a different way of doing it by creating a class. So let's take a look at that here. First, app CSS, we just deleted some to make it simple. So if we look here, we have React and component reported, and now we have this class app extends component. So that's different than what it was before, and if we look down here, we just render, we can render out similar to the stateless component. What the class allows us to do is have lifecycle functions. In this particular episode, we're only going to be using constructor, so we could set an initial state, and this will be the only time you actually say this dot state equals. Outside of this, you should never do that, and I'll explain that in a moment. But, so we have this constructor here, and this is the date, and then we can display it. So if we glance over here, you could see that was the date, the time, so it just kind of displays it out once. So stateful components are able to do a whole lot more because you can calculate things based off state and render given things based off state on a whole more complex way than just passing in props. So we're not going to get into all the lifecycle functions yet. We'll be talking about those next time, and it'll be a lot more interesting, but we'll keep it kind of simple today. A few notes about state. You should never modify it directly, so this .state.thing equals true. That's the wrong way to do it. The only exception to this is this .state equals, and then you'll define all of state, and that'll only be done in the constructor. Outside of that, you should always be using this format here for this .set state, and then define what you want to set. State updates can be asynchronous. So if you're trying to set a new state based off state or props, it's not going to work because you can't calculate based off the next state. You have to use this other version of set state instead, which is defining this anonymous function inside that has the previous state and props passed to it, and then you can use the previous state counter and the props to increment. That will work the way you are looking. Finally, state updates are merged. So if you have multiple things in your state, so in this example they have posts and comments, if you set one, then the other will remain intact. So in this instance, posts will be completely replaced, but comments won't be touched at all. So it's very nice. So pretty simple episode today. We will get into more complex examples next time as we start to look at the lifestyle components. If you liked what you saw today, please subscribe. Thank you.